Hello, are you able to hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. We can start.
Okay. Can you tell me the O2C cycle process? What are the steps in order to cash cycle?
Yeah, in order to cash cycle process involves several key steps actually. The first step it is order entry, where we record and process customer order. Okay. Then order fulfillment, where we have to handle the picking, packing, and shipping of the order product to the customer. Then comes the invoicing part. Once the order is fulfilled, we generate and send invoice to the customer, mentioning the amount owed by the customer.
What is the accounting entry for order to cash cycle?
Yeah, accounting entry. At the order entry stage, when a sales order is created, no accounting entry is generated. At the stage of fulfillment, there is also no accounting entry. Invoicing start once the order is fulfilled. That means account receivable account will be debited, the revenue will be credited.
No. Then what will be before that? Any other accounting we have? What is the entry? You told me the AR entry, right? Receivable account revenue. But before that, what is the entry?
Cost of goods sold entry will be happen. That defer. When the sales order is confirmed and booked, no accounting entry is there. But once the goods are shipped, we recognize our cost of goods sold and deferred revenue entry.
But you told like during shipping, cost of goods sold is recognized. Is it true?
Yeah, that is part of inventory actually. It will transfer to.
What will be the entry, accounting entry at the time of shipping, after ship confirmation?
Yeah, that will be cost of goods sold account will be debited and inventory will be credited. Means the.
So you said immediately after shipping, COGS will be recognized.
At the time shipping. After ship confirmation, this account entry will be generated. Costs debited and inventory will be credited. That means moment of goods means from inventory item will be reduced, then it will be recognized as a cost incurred for sale.
For example, I have ship confirmed and cost is recognized, right? You said cost of goods sold account debit to inventory. But my invoice has not been created. Suppose you are doing the shipping in the last date of the month, and my revenue recognition happens once the invoice is created, right? Revenue has not been accounted. So you are telling how the cost of goods sold and your revenue recognition both will match. How both will sync? because you recognize the COGS, but my revenue has not been recognized yet.
In that case, it will go to DCOGS account, deferred cost of goods sold. The part of
That's why I'm asking you. That's why I'm asking you what will be the entry during the shipping. So entry will be deferred COGS account to inventory first. It will not directly go to cost of goods sold.
DCOGS.
Then invoice revenue will be recognized. Then again, after the invoice is recognized, revenue is recognized. Then in cost management, COGS will be recognized and entry will be
Cost to DCOGS.
deferred COGS. Yeah, this is the accounting cycle. But you are telling during shipping, cost of goods sold will be debited directly. Right? This is wrong. Because we have to sync both COGS recognition and revenue recognition. That's why till the revenue is recognized, the amount would be.
You have to put it in the deferred cost of goods sold.
Yeah. That you have to explain.
Actually, in ABS, this DCOGS was not there actually.
No, EBS is there. In Oracle ABS, deferred COGS was introduced.
The earlier versions they introduced it.
Like 11i, it was not there, but in R12, EBS R12, deferred COGS concept was introduced. Okay. So you know what is? Can you tell me? What is line ordering rule?
Line ordering rule.
Just tell me what are the setup required for auto invoice process. You know what is auto invoice, right?
Yes.
What is auto invoice?
Auto invoice actually we use to create the invoice automatically after the shipping of goods. Auto creation of invoice.
Auto creation of invoices from order lines, right?
That means it pulls data from our sources.
What are the prerequisite setup for auto invoice process?
Yeah. We have transaction type. We have to
only transaction type?
No, transaction source we have to define. Transaction source identify where the transaction will be originated. Okay. Then transaction types to auto invoice. Grouping rule we need. Grouping rule needed to determine how transaction should be grouped to form the invoices. These rules actually based on criteria such as customer order date or our item type. Then tax setup also required for tax codes, rates and rules whether are appropriate or not. Then interface line definitions. That means mapping item and transaction attributes to account.
Okay, so in one of my business scenario, what happens? there is one customer, and for one sales order, several invoice has been created, whereas for the same customer, only one invoice is created. What can be the reason? Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One invoice being created with
One sales
for
order.
one sales order,
For the
multiple
same
invoices.
for the same customer. Yeah.
Mhm.
But for another, it can be like another invoice, another customer. Sorry, same customer, another sales order, multiple invoice has been created.
Reason could be the grouping rule set up during our this auto invoice process.
So what kind of grouping rule is there at the difference?
Means if the
So
transaction, yeah, sorry,
yeah, tell me.
rule might group transactions based on different criteria, like our customer, order, date, or item type. Means one setup might group all the
The possibility is that our grouping rule in one of the sales order, grouping rule was customer header,
Hmm.
but in another customer site level, the grouping rule. So for each site, it created invoice based on the rule. But in other one, there is picking the customer as the grouping rule. So for all site, it's created one invoice. Right?
Okay. Mhm.
How you will fix the auto invoice error in Oracle Fusion?
Fusion or EBS?
In Fusion.
Auto invoice process has not been changed in EBS and Fusion, na?
Yeah, is there any
Almost
change?
same.
Okay, how will you fix the issue? Is there
First, I
any
would
change?
review the error message
Where
that
you
are log report. We have
uh-huh.
to find
What is
and
that
to
report name?
understand the nature of the error.
What is the name of this report? And where when this report will be generated? This error report?
It will be a log file. Na? I will means,
Log file and output file. When you run the auto invoice process, you will get the auto invoice execution report. Auto invoice import execution report, you will get whatever errors. How will you resolve this error?
then I have to check the setup configurations such as our this transaction source, transaction type, grouping rules, and other essential setups. Which you
Okay. So suppose you have checked the error and you want to fix that error. How you can do that?
I will check. I will resolve those errors, and then again I will have to validate all the data mapping.
Suppose there are certain data error you have to fix. Is there any way I can fix this in interface itself?
Yeah.
How?
Means from the source system itself, we have to resolve it. If the error is due to data issue.
Data
such
issue
as-
already data is available in interface. I want to resolve the issue. Some of the error lines I want to fix in interface. Is it possible?
we have to rerun the auto invoice process now.
Yeah. Before running, I have to fix in the interface. Then I have to run, right?
Yes.
Except setup, I want to fix some data issue in the interface itself. How can I fix that?
That specific interface table I have to check where the error has occurred. Then we can correct the data directly in that table through our SQL or this thing, Oracle. SQL also we can do.
In Fusion, how can I do? Fusion. In Fusion, Oracle Fusion has provided ADFDI based template where you can import all the errors.
That error template we can download from the system itself. Yes, those errors will be shown there. Right?
So you have to answer that and fix in the Excel. You can able to fix and re-import. Correct import error in spreadsheet. So all the interface error you can fix in the, like most of the error, if any data issue or if you can fix this in interface, you can do that in interface. Not all the errors, but some of the errors you can fix, except all the setup issue. That you have to answer.
But in EBS, it's a bit technical help we have to take.
EBS
So
also we have directly in front end, we have interface line. You can go to interface line and
interface lines. There we can correct the data.
Here they have provided Excel template. Excel template, you can download the error and fix. Okay. What is suppose my customer or I have 1 year agreement with one customer who is paying me rent 12,000 every month 1,000. The customer paid me in advance in the month of January, and I have to spread and recognize this 12,000 across the year. Is it possible in Oracle Fusion? Like the customer has paid me in advance. So 1 month rent is 1,000. But in month of January, customer has paid me 12,000 in advance. Okay. But the 12,000 actually belongs to 12 months. But I got the cash in like month of January in advance. How to handle this situation? How to handle this scenario in Oracle Fusion? My requirement is to recognize every month 1,000.
Yeah, that revenue recognition you're telling, no?
What is the setup required?
Customer paid advance for 12,000. We have to take the entry. Means we have booked 12,000 as
First, what is the setup required for this? Don't take that much time actually to answer quickly. Tell me the setup and the accounting entries. What will be the accounting entries? How to create that invoice?
when the customer pays in advance, we have to initially record the amount as deferred revenue.
How I can record this?
You can set means revenue equation schedule. We have to set it. Recognize 1,000 per month. Means that will allow the system to take automatically recognize.
So what kind of revenue scheduling I have to set up in this case, in this scenario? Hmm? 12 month revenue scheduling, right? Fixed scheduling. Every month it will recognize 1,000. So 12-month revenue scheduling I have to define. Once I create the invoice, I have to provide the invoice header. I have to mention I am creating a invoicing with rule. In the invoice line, I have to assign the revenue scheduling, the 12-month revenue scheduling which I have defined. Then I have to create the invoice. Once I create the invoice, I have to run the revenue recognition program. So once you run the revenue recognition program, what will be the entry? Any idea?
Yeah, entry will be like
What will be the entry in the first month?
first month we will have to book the whole amount, right? Cash
What is the
account will
entry?
be
What will be the entry?
cash account debited to
Why cash account? In invoice level, where is cash? I'm telling like at the invoice level.
we are receiving the payment in advance, no?
That is in during the receipt. I'm telling at the invoice level, what will be the entry?
That receivable to on-hand revenue.
How much?
12,000.
Then
we will receive the payment from the party.
you forget about party. In the invoice, what will be the entry? The month of January, in the what will be the invoice accounting?
Receivable to revenue 12,000 will book. Then on-hand revenue will be 1,000 to revenue. 1,000.
The first
every month 1,000 will be recognized as revenue. It will reduce from on-hand revenue to revenue 1,000 each.
First month receivable to on-hand revenue 12,000. Then on-hand revenue to revenue 1,000 every month, January to December. That you have to tell very confidently all the setups and process. Do you know event-based revenue recognition? Any idea?
Event-based revenue recognition.
You know revenue contingency? You
No.
don't know? Yeah. Yeah, if you don't know, you can tell me. Yeah, you don't know. You can investigate on this revenue contingency, event-based revenue recognition. So based on some contingency, your revenue recognition revenue will be deferred. Once this contingency will be removed, then revenue will be recognized, like your customer payment. Like till the customer made the payment, your revenue will not be recognized. Once payment is made, the contingency will be removed and your revenue will be recognized. So this kind of setup you can do also. We have many event-based revenue recognition scenario you can discuss. You know what is lockbox?
Logbox, yes.
Yeah.
Uh,
Tell me.
Just a minute.
Are you searching in Google like all these answer?
No, no.
Why you are delaying the answer?
No, auto logbox actually we to automatically apply the receipts, we use the auto logbox process.
That can be done through other method also, right? Automatic receipt, not only through auto logbox, right? What is auto logbox program? Like what is the purpose of logbox and what are the setup required? What is the process? What are the setup required for auto logbox?
Yeah, setups actually we need logbox depend the log period. Then security rules.
You study about that. How the logbox process will find out the invoices for application. You tell me. Like we have hundreds of invoice and we have hundreds of payment. How the logbox program will find out the invoices, appropriate invoice for application? Tell me.
There is auto matching rule actually.
Okay.
To match payments with corresponding invoices.
Any other what is that auto match rule set? Can you explain? What are the criteria? In auto logbox, do you know what are the steps while creating the logbox process? What are the steps the system will perform?
For auto logbox process, right? That importing the payments information, then validate it to the that system validation happens. Then auto matching.
Post logbox
Then
application.
that auto matching rule that pairs payments with the corresponding invoices. The rule-based system that helps handle the large volume of invoices with the payments. some exception handling also there. Means any mismatch is there, then manually we can do that.
Do you know what is receipt class?
Receipt class.
Why you are taking so much time? Interviewer will not give that much time.
So, I forgot actually. So it will categorize the different types of payments.
Okay. So receipt class determine how we are going to process the receipt. So in the receipt class, what are the attributes we have to mention? Do you know? You check, right? You prepare the complete year process. Like the receipt class, receipt source,
Payment on.
payment method, receipt method. Receipt class, we assign the remittance bank account, all the accounts that we have to assign. Okay. And in receipt class, we mention our remittance method. Receipt will be annual or automatic or matching. What is the matching type of the receipt? Whether you need to use cash management in the receipt in the year or not, that would be determined by receipt class. If it is by matching, then you have to match all the receipt with cash management, bank statement with bank statement. All these things you have to remember. The remittance method, what will be the accounting entry? Different remittance method. What is standard remittance? What is factor remittance? All these things you have to clear. Standard remittance, what will be the entry? No remittance, what will be the accounting entry? Factored remittance. Factored remittance means all the future dated checks. For example, customer has deposited with the bank. So bank will not wait. We have agreement with the bank so that bank will immediately transfer the payment to the business. They will not wait for the check to be cleared because it's a factored remittance, but it will be a short-term liability for us. So once the check will be cleared, this liability will be removed. In this way, what will be the accounting entry for factored remittance? What are the auto invoice errors you are getting? How to fix them? And receipt. What is on account receipt? Do you know?
Payment means receipt, payment receipt where specific invoice is applied.
On account receipt. Clearly, on account receipt means whenever there is some amount pending or overpayment by the customer, so that
You can put it in on account.
On account. What is unapplied receipt?
Unapplied means if invoice we are not tracking, then we'll put it as unapplied. It's not applied to any invoice amount. invoice.
Suppose I have applied, right? I have applied, still some remaining amount. So that will be also remain unapplied, right?
Yeah, that we can transfer to on account.
Then what is the difference? Why you are transferring to an account? It can be also be remain as unapplied, right? So what
It
is
can be
yeah? So why we are transferring to an account? Is there any reason for that?
otherwise customer balance will show in the report.
Which one?
That unapplied amount.
On
It
account
show as
also will
customer.
show, right?
Hmm?
On account also will show, right? It will not show.
Yes. On account will show.
So what is the what is chargeback? You know what is chargeback?
Chargeback is means chargeback means suppose customer has not made the payment so in a portion of the invoice, then we can charge back that amount for another invoice.
What is the business purpose for this?
Business purpose means
Why we are
actually-
charging back? Yeah.
charging means suppose customer we have a payment term actually. According to that payment term, we have received the payment in that period. Customer has not make the payment in that according to that payment term, then he will ask us to charge back it again. So that unpaid portion will be what it means. Unpaid portion will be treated as another invoice, new invoice.
Okay. When in air invoice, when the accounting will be created? At which stage?
Account will be created at the auto invoice process.
Auto invoice process, account will be created.
So the auto invoice process, invoice will be generated. Then we have to create the accounting.
That's
It will
when
be this. Sorry.
the invoice, auto invoice invoice is created.
Hmm.
When the accounting will be created for the air invoice.
Invoice, when invoice will be issued to the customer.
I mean journal entry like accounting that you mentioned now, like this receivable to revenue. This entry when it will be created.
That accounting is created once invoice is issued. Means,
In system, Oracle system, when it will be created? Automatically created or we have to run some programs?
no, we have to run create accounting program.
That I am asking. So before running create accounting, suppose we have what we have to do? You have to complete the invoice, right?
Yes, to complete or validate the invoice. Complete the invoice.
Complete the invoice. So during completion, accounting will not be created, right?
No.
So you have to create accounting program.
Yes, we have to run the create account program.
So when so for example, I have a requirement that all my revenue, suppose I have revenue lines with different items. For each item, I want different revenue account. Suppose for an invoice, I have 5 items. And for that 5 items, I have 5 different revenue account I want to generate. How can I do that?
For that, we have to customize SLA.
How can I do that? What are the steps?
For SLA,
Yeah. For this scenario, what exactly you have to do?
we have to categorize our items based on the revenue accounts. That means
Where
that item,
where you have to do that in SLA? We have to create a mapping sheet, right, with revenue item category to revenue account. Then we have to other process like journal entry rule set, account rules, then all these steps we have to follow. In account rule, you have to assign that mapping sheet, and then the journal entry rule set in the revenue lines, we have to assign that account rule. Okay, we'll stop here. There are some other questions we'll discuss later. But you have to prepare hard on this process. Because you are answering, but your answer is not, you are not telling all the answers confidently. You are taking a lot of time while answering. So interviewer will be irritated on that. Like for each questions, you are taking a lot of time to answer. You are thinking all the answer, like what will be the answer. So it should be in your finger point, all the answer. I don't think that suddenly you have to jump into the answer. Slowly you have to articulate everything, but you should not take that much time to provide the answer. Prepare some more questions. I'll share some other questions.
EBS రావచ్చు actually.
Uh,
Go to see EBS.
Okay, you can give the interview, but okay.